So Advantage Plus, think I recall, it's a mixture of bottom and top of the funnel, but it's basically more bottom of the funnel. But you're saying it's not necessarily is likely to work when you're running just that, but you got to be doing separate. That's what you specifically mean. As long as it works well, if you're in this case, it worked well. If you're running a separate, pure as top of the funnel as you can get campaign, then the advantage is that's what's causing it to perform better.
So this is a newer client that I've been only running their account for about 12 days now. But the change that's happened since I took over is so dramatic. I thought we might as well talk about it here because now it's kind of the perfect time to highlight this when such a recent shift was made on the account. And I'm going to start by looking at what was running on this account prior to Solution Mate Management. Which was primarily Advantage Plus, a little bit of remarketing, and one traffic-based top-of-funnel campaign. And if you look here at what Advantage Plus was receiving in terms of budget, it was a lot. This is a 12-day period, and they had spent $7,300 purely on Advantage Plus in that 12 days. And then the remaining was basically split between two remarketing campaigns and one top of funnel.
Nick, sorry, I don't know if you're clicking around, but I think we might be stuck on the screen, another screen.
Still looking at my old screen. Okay. Let's try this one. All right. Okay. Let's talk about this again then. So we're just looking at the last, the 12 days prior to when Solutions 8 took over this particular account. And now you can see what actually was running here. It was primarily Advantage Plus campaigns. And again, that spent about $7,300 in the 12 days, basically the last 12 days of August, with a couple of days where we took over right before the end of the month there. And even with the traffic campaign here, so the top of funnel campaign that they were running, they were using all of the tools that Meta recommends. So first of all, they're heavily pushing Advantage Plus, which is what any rep that you speak to would pretty much tell you to do currently. And they're using the Advantage Plus creative. What that is you are taking a dozen or so creatives in this case and putting them all into one ad, along with several different versions of primary text and headlines, and allowing the algorithm to pair it up. Very similar to what Google does with their PMAX structure. But in our case, I've never really seen this work too well. And we can see, just based on results of those 12 days, 0.8 ROAS on $2,100 spent. I don't know of any business that can realistically live with those results, even with it being on platform results. So what we did was, when we took over the account, we took a complete 180 approach. Basically, we kept on a few of the Advantage Plus campaigns, because what I find is that they work really well when you push top of funnel and they act as a remarketing campaign. And in the case prior to us managing the account, yeah, go ahead, Jason.
So Advantage Plus, think I recall, it's a mixture of bottom and top of the funnel, but it's basically more bottom of the funnel. But you're saying it's not necessarily is likely to work when you're running just that, but you got to be doing separate. That's what you specifically mean. As long as it works well, if you're in this case, it worked well. If you're running a separate, pure as top of the funnel as you can get campaign, then the advantage is that's what's causing it to perform better, I think.
Yeah, I think so. You're never going to hear this directly from someone at Meta, but I have never found Advantage Plus to realistically work when it's forced to prospect. When
Okay.
you are not delivering quality top of funnel traffic for it to remarket, I don't find much benefit to it. And you can see that here just purely based on the store sessions. So this is the time that we've been managing the accounts, August 30 to September 10th, compared to that period prior. And store sessions, once I took over, dropped by 72%. Conversion rate skyrocketed by 275%, albeit
Wow.
still pretty low at 0.28, but
Yeah.
it did increase substantially. And what that tells me is that these Advantage Plus campaigns were forced to prospect, and they just don't do a good job of it. There was a traffic campaign running at the same time, but it had only spent $2,100. And it's just delivering really poor traffic to the website. Tons of traffic, but I think we all know that the game of digital marketing isn't all traffic based as it once was. So that's previous period. Let me get that all set up again. So what we did when we took over the account is we left the Advantage Plus running because we were going to introduce a ton of new traffic. And we introduced the L1, L2, L3 structure again here. To remind everybody, L1 is basically just top of funnel targeting, but we're excluding all website visitors, all past purchasers, all social engagers, basically anybody who would have interacted with the brand in a relatively long time frame. So about the last 6 months to a year is as cold as we can possibly get through exclusions on Meta. And we're not reinventing the wheel here. It's just straight typical targeting. So I'll open up this campaign so we can see it. It's just a luxury footwear interest. This is a luxury footwear brand targeting some of her competitors, essentially, with the exclusions that you can see here. Then that audience trickles down to L2, which retargets individuals who watch 25% of the videos showcased in L1. And then the bottom of funnel here, which is L3, retargets any website visitors in the last 30 days that did not purchase. And we have different offers spread across the different ads. We're showing middle of funnel receives an offer of a very similar, like an email sign up offer. I think it's 15% off first time purchasers or for first time purchasers. And then bottom of funnel gets a free shipping over their AOV, which is about $500. And yeah, if we look at general results since taking over the account, sales increased by 22%, conversion rate increased by 275, total orders is up, and then AOV is also up a little bit. But the bigger impact that I think is going to move the needle more for this business is first-time purchasers. We're going to look at the same time period here. So August 30th to September 10th, 58 new purchasers in that time frame. And the previous period, they had 49. Spend did increase pretty substantially. We've spent $1,700 compared to a little bit over 10 that they had spent in the previous time period. But scale has maintained. You can see here on platform ROAS was at a 1.8. We took it to a 1.92, so not a substantial increase to ROAS. But when you pair that with an additional 7K spend, that I think compared with first-time buyers is how you profitably scale this type of business. When you have a really high AOV and you need first-time purchasers again. Very similar to the last brand that we talked about. Financial constraints that they were having and wanted to review everything and start fresh with their meta ads. But anyways, we're rebuilding their platform, and I'm doing it in a very similar way to what I was doing for this brand. And what that looks like is, I'll start with the top of funnel.